How good does that feel? Pretty damn good. As we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Batalico, I'm Michael Barkan. Come on over from Fox 29. We got the postgame show right here. We got Rob Thomson right here. We got Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Matt Vierling, and most importantly, we got Ricky Bo.
And Andy Fletcher. Andy Fletcher, too.
Andy Fletcher, too. Andy Fletcher did not. We don't have Andy Fletcher. I hope he gets out of the ballpark.
Stunk.
Okay, tonight. Andy Fletcher was the home plate umpire. Ricky Bo, 1-0 Phillies. How about it? And you talk about what a difference 6 days make. Rematch of Ranger Suarez and Max Fried, and what happened last week when Ranger gave up 1 run, tonight nothing.
But for both of those guys, they pitched the same. You didn't see much differently from Suarez and or Fried. I thought they both threw the ball extremely well. Ranger, the one thing that I saw out of Ranger, a lot more ground balls. I said that before the game, that you don't want a lot of fly balls at Citizens Bank Park. Although tonight, you and I were over at the ballpark. That wind was howling.
Whipping.
Nothing was going out of this ballpark tonight. This was like a Wrigley Field blowing in day over at Citizens Bank Park. And 11 ground balls is a beautiful thing. Let your defense do the work. He used both sides of the plate. His changeup was very good. He got 4 swings and misses on 6 changeups. So Ranger was on top of his game, staying on top of his pitches, trying to stay down in the zone. That's what you want to see. And right now, I mean, I've been fighting with myself trying to say, all right, who's the third starter? Ranger just jumped up on that.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. So now you've got Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler, #1, and we were wondering about Bailey Falter, Ranger Suarez, and it looks like Ranger Suarez, his last 2 starts. Let's chase October, shall we? As the Phillies now move 1/2 game back of San Diego and 2.5 games up on Milwaukee, of course, presented by our friends at the Tri-State Toyota Dealers. And here are the wild card standings up to the minute. The Phillies occupying the last spot, right behind San Diego, 1/2 game back. Ricky Bo, I know
this is crazy.
But here's the thing: I know you got to try to win every game. We want that to happen, but the spot they're in right now is the better spot for them.
You do not have a choice, Michael. Take a good look. The Brewers.
I'm just analyzing it right now.
Yeah, well, I'm analyzing it back to you because I'm going to tell you right now. Look at the Brewers; they're 2.5 games back. What are you going to do? Throw games so you go to that 3 spot? No, you continue to win. You try to win every single game. I said in pregame, the one important thing that could happen here is the Phillies win that game 1 of this series. Why? Because you have Aaron Nola going tomorrow. What did you want? You wanted at least a split of this series. You take 2 out of 4, you're in really good shape leaving this series. Well, you get that Aaron Nola game that you think you're going to get, and all of a sudden, 3 out of 4 isn't out of the question. So my whole thing is just keep winning. I could care less what position they get in. I mean, does it really matter? You have to beat these teams anyway.
Doesn't matter. You're right.
As long as you go in the playoffs, you still have to beat the teams that are in front of you. So what is the difference whether you play the Braves, the Mets, or the Cardinals at this point?
Well, only because I would like to see them advance around, and I understand that
You're
ultimately.
just being a big baby.
No, I'm not.
Beat the best.
Ultimately,
that's why I said
maybe not the start.
I hope the Phillies get the second wild card spot, and I hope the Mets get the first wild card spot. I told you about this. I want Philly fans to go up to Citi Field and be able to watch their team kick. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I hear you.
I'll stop there.
I hear you. By the way, no need to stop. Yeah, by the way, the magic number, as you see right there, is 10. Any combination of Phillies wins,
I'll just hold my hands
Brewers
up the whole time.
Losses totaling 10 right there.
Fundamental baseball.
Yeah.
That's how they won the game.
And they also won it, though, by staying tough and battling, because the 1 run is a slim lead, and it was a 1-run lead that they failed to protect last time these teams faced each other with Fried and Sanchez on the mound.
Right.
Suarez on the mound.
Yeah, and you look at this team, it's a depleted bullpen. You have Sir Anthony, who has not been pitching well. Robertson's been up a lot. He hasn't looked great as of late. Hand has been really bad as of late. And what happens tonight? He brings in Eflin. to go 1 2/3 innings, who was outstanding.
No hit
then you
ball.
bring in Alvarado to finish out the game. Hey, if you got to do it, this is how you know these games matter now, because what he's doing is going with who's healthy, who could get me to places, and who's throwing the ball well.
What are you
are
trying to do?
literally just you're trying to get a pitch that you could drive, and if it's up, then so be it. Then you take your shot. I thought that pitch, he just saw a breaking ball for a strike earlier in the count that kind of dove on him, and he took it for a strike. That one kind of stayed up in the zone, so all he had to do was barrel it and hit it to center field. And I mean, for Vierling, I look at that he's trying not to do too much with it. He's pretty happy about his swing right now, obviously. With 5 hits last night, you should be pretty happy about your swing. But the one thing you're just looking to do is to drive the ball into the outfield. That's all. That is what the Phillies did tonight. That's it.
Yep, but fundamental baseball.
That's it. Game over.
Nice job, Phillies. I think Rob Thomson's going to start this media availability with a smile. Here he is.
Do you find something in Eflin tonight?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we talked about it earlier before the game. Would he pitch in high leverage situations? Would he pitch multiple innings? I mean, that was probably the perfect setting for him tonight. Ranger gave us length, and he was fantastic. And you know, because of the extra inning game last night, a lot of guys threw, so we wanted to get some length from Ranger, not have to use too many pitchers out of that pen because they'd be down tomorrow. And that's exactly what we got. So it was really good.
How impressive was that performance just from the pitching staff overall, given how little room for error there was, like with a 1-run lead?
Yeah, there was, tight game, a lot of pressure, and they came through. Ranger, cool as a cucumber, and just pitched like we've seen in the past, and he was tremendous. Eflin, I don't think anything bothers him, and we found out a couple things with Alvarado is that, we wanted by the end of the year to get him to go 1+ and get him to see if he can pitch in the 9th, and he did both those tonight, and so he was really good.
Grossman's got great numbers against lefties. What made you want to stick with Jose there?
Just because I thought he was still throwing the ball well. I mean, Ozuna hit the kind of soft base hit to right field. Other than that, I thought he was throwing the ball well. But that was probably his last hitter, just because it's the first time he's gone 1+ in a long time.
Was there a reason why you guys hadn't pushed him to 1+ until now?
Yeah, just because we were trying to keep guys at 1 inning if we could, and get guys to start innings if we could, because I think that guys tend to pitch better that way. But now that we're getting towards the end, we may have to use this,
Closer.
What's that?
Who do you consider your closer?
I don't consider anybody the closer. It could be a number of guys, really.
Beyond his elbow, is Harper dealing with anything physically right now?
No, nothing.
What have you seen from him recently?
I think he's just, we talked about before the game, he's just, he's getting caught in between, and he'll come out of it at some point.
Ranger had that hiccup like late last month. His first start this month. Do you think he's kind of through it? What have you seen from the last 3?
I think so. I mean, the last 3, it's been 6 or 6+, and it's been really good. The location's been good. The quality of stuff's been good. Secondary pitches have been really good. So he's, when he's like that, he's really good.
What do you think it means just to beat this team after what happened last weekend?
I think it's to win the game is huge, but they're a good ball club. So when you beat good ball clubs, it feels pretty good. I thought the crowd was outstanding. I'm not sure how many people were here, but it was pretty loud, and a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement. So it was good. It's a nice, cool night. It's like a playoff game.
How many catchers do you think go for first?
Nobody, not many. Let's put it that way. And that was really the play of the game, because then Vierling gets a sac fly, and it's the only run we score. So again, back-to-back nights, Vierling comes through, with the game-winning at bat, I guess.
What do you think of the strike zone tonight?
Yeah, I don't really want to comment on that. I just, it is what it is, and it's a tough job. And I always say, whatever happens, you have to overcome umpires, bad hops, whatever things come up that that go against you. You just have to play better. So we got through.
He threw a pitch a foot inside. They called it a strike on Grossman late in the game. So, it is what it is. There's some good umps, there's some bad umps, and there's some terrible umps.
Yeah, and sometimes guys just have a bad night. I don't know where you are on Andy Fletcher,
whatever.
but okay, there it is. That's where he is on Andy Fletcher. How about Zac Eflin? I know where we are on Zac Eflin. A scoreless 1 2/3 innings. Here he is in the clubhouse.
I've been waiting on that moment. I've prepared myself to kind of pitch in any situation, and fortunately I've done it before as a starter. I finished games before, so been waiting for that opportunity, and I'm glad it went well tonight, and we got the win. And Ranger threw his tail off, man. It was so fun to watch. It was vintage Ranger. Albie came down, shut the door. It was just a great team win.
How late in games before, but how do you compare people Harper, warming up and jogging in? Is it different?
Yeah, it's a lot different. Typically, in the first inning of a start, your heart's racing. You get butterflies and stuff, but nothing like coming in the 7th inning of a 1-run game and against the Braves, right? So after I got out of that first inning and was able to kind of go down in my normal spot where I sit as a starter and kind of catch my breath, and I kind of relaxed and felt like I always did. So it was a lot of fun.